Today we're exposing the 10 most common myths about tick removal and separating the fact from fiction. I'm Laura and welcome to Dragonfly. Myth number 1. If you're not careful, you'll leave the tick's head in. False. Ticks don't possess heads. What you can actually see are tiny mouth parts called the capitulum, and that is what actually digs into the dog's skin rather than a head. As the tick engorges, it gives the impression that the head is burrowed in the skin because it forms a pit, but they don't have heads. Tick myth number 2. If you don't remove the tick correctly, you'll leave the legs in. False. Ticks don't put their legs into the host's body. It is just the mouth parts that go into the body. The legs stay outside of the body. So you're never going to leave legs inside your dog. Tick myth number 3. Ticks can be suffocated so they drop off on their own. False. A tick breathes through little holes on its body and its breathing rate is low, typically 1 to 15 times per hour. Attempts to suffocate the tick using things like Vaseline, jelly, alcohol, oil can cause the tick to regurgitate the body contents back into the host and therefore causing infection or passing on disease. Whilst the tick may drop off through suffocation, the danger is far too great, so we wouldn't recommend this as a method of removal. Tick myth number 4. If you burn the tick off, you won't leave the head in. False. As we covered earlier, ticks do not have heads, and any attempt to burn a tick off using a lighter, the end of a match, a cigarette, can just result in A, harming your dog, or B, causing the tick to regurgitate those contents of their body back into your dog and therefore causing infection or passing on disease. It's a dangerous practice. It's not something you should be trying. So I say that myth is false. Tick myth number 5. If you turn a tick clockwise or anti-clockwise, it will remove more easily. False. Ticks are not screw threaded and it doesn't matter which way you twist them. The barbs on the mouth parts certainly can be released by twisting, but it doesn't matter in which direction and should only be done using a tick twisting tool. Twisting with tweezers or forceps or fingernails can cause too much pressure on the tick's body, forcing it to regurgitate once again into the host and giving an increased risk of infection or passing on disease. Tick myth number 6. You can see if a tick's head has broken off by checking it once you've removed it. False. As we've covered before, ticks don't have heads. When a tick is removed, the mouth part will come with it, but these mouth parts are so minuscule that it would be impossible to see them without high magnification, so looking at the tick once you've removed it is not going to give you any indication of whether you've removed all of the tick. Tick myth number 7. If an attached tick hasn't fed, it's safe. False. Backflow of fluids can occur from the tick even if it hasn't fed. While the risk from an unfed tick of passing on a disease or infection is lower than a tick who is engorged with blood, there is still a risk attached, which is why it's important to remove the tick correctly. Tick myth number 8. If you leave a tick's head in, it will grow a new body. False. As mentioned earlier, ticks don't possess heads. I think you might be getting that one now. So if mouth parts break off, it will just become dead matter, it can't regenerate and will just die off. Tick myth number 9. If you don't get a tick out quickly, it will burrow right into the body. As previously mentioned, only the mouth parts enter the body. The appearance of the tick sinking into the flesh is purely down to the fact that as the tick feeds, it engorges and then creates a pit in the skin that looks like it's burrowing into the body. Regardless of how long a tick is on the body, it will never vanish into the body. Tick myth number 10, and probably my favourite one. If you surprise a tick, it won't grip on. False. Engaging and disengaging the mouth parts from the host's flesh is a deliberate action of the tick, and surprising them is going to do nothing. They will be determined to burrow into the skin regardless of how much you scare them. And there you have it, 10 tick myths busted. I hope you found this very interesting. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.